Bryn,
Hello.
thanks for joining me.
Pleasure.
Let's go with who you are, a little bit about you maybe like how you've got to where you are now, and what you do and what problem you solve.
Oh, what problems do I solve? Well, my name's Bryn Robert Berry. I operate under that name. From a work perspective, I market myself as a plugin brand and business partner, which essentially means...
I was going to say, what does that mean?
Yeah, I get this a lot, and I'm still relatively new to what I'm doing, or the business I've set up. I'm still playing around with language to make sure I'm getting it really tight. But essentially, what that means is if you're a founder or a small team or a brand or a scaling team, you plug me into a business opportunity or a problem, and I help you from everything from understanding you as a brand and then rolling that through and actually activating it.
Yeah.
So it's a very convoluted way of me saying that I'm half brand strategist, half commercial director in one. I come in, help you understand what the brand is, and then actually work with you to roll it out and activate it versus just here's a deck and then swanning off. Like I actually embed myself in your business.
Yeah, I was going to say, it sounds quite immersive.
Yes,
like
it is.
quite strategic.
Correct.
Embedded, and I think that's becoming quite a trend now, isn't it? I say quite a trend as if like it's something menial, but people want that more integrated experience, right?
Yes, and I'm getting quite a bit of feedback at the moment in a good way where people are really picking up on that plugin concept, because for me, that really does help articulate what I'm doing. But yeah, my whole proposition or what I've always wanted to do was I'd never wanted to be a coach, or I'm a bit like you, I'm quite anti-consultancy. But the reality is a lot of what I do does kind of sit in that space. So me saying the plugin, because I do with all my clients, I can only take on a certain amount each time, because depending on the scale of what they're doing, I literally come in and I could be working with them for a week in their business and going there and working with them one-on-one constantly, because it means I'm getting really into the nuts and bolts of who they are and what they do.
Right.
I'm not just going to come in, go away for a week, do a strategy, hand it over, and then go into the next client. It's fully in there.
And I think that's what people need now, because I think there's a lot of, because the market is getting a bit more crowded, there are new players, the barrier to entry is lower now.
Yep.
People are like looking, which way do I turn? I don't quite have my pulse on the market. They need that person who can step in, step out, step in, step out.
Yep.
No, I don't mean like week by week. I mean, just right now I'm looking in, now I'm looking out, and it's all about your brand and how we make you win. And I think that's really interesting. Do you have a particular category that you like working with, or?
Not really. I think I come from, I've done 14 years in big brand consultancies with billion-dollar brands. So I've seen and worked in pretty much every industry you can think of.
Nice.
And when I started my business, I am of that notion of, you need to niche down and get quite clear with the kind of clients you want to work with, which I am doing that. But if you look at my clients at the moment, they're across a whole range of different industries and sectors. This sounds really cheesy, like I'm just saying this, but I don't really care. Within reason, I don't really care where they come from. At the minute, I'm working with a guy launching a fashion label, a lady who's launching an education platform, another lady who's launching a sustainability consultancy. So the completely different, broad array of backgrounds.
What does your client fit look like then, in terms of, is it attributes, is it personality, is it
it's energy?
Energy.
It is because I'm trying to put out certain energy, and I'm playing around with that, but it does seem to be attracting a certain kind of client. I've fingers crossed, I've met 2 people today who have seen me on LinkedIn, or I've been talking to them beforehand, and both have said, it's the energy that I'm connected to, because I try to be quite, without going into all this detail, I've got a bit of a mental health story that I try to infuse into my content when I can, and they've picked up on that. And I think so. It only attracts a certain amount of people, a certain type of person, but that seems to be bringing people in, and they're going, okay, so Bryn seems to know what he's talking about, but also he's not perfect, and he understands the messiness. So that's what's attracting that kind of client to me naturally.
So it's your personal brand that's attracting these clients.
I hate to admit it, but yes.
Yeah, but and what's your approach to personal brand? Because obviously there's a lot of one-man bands out there. There's a lot of consultants, a lot of like strategic partners, coaches, whatever they decide to do, but they prefer to work alone. But obviously go into businesses and work with people. What's your advice? Like what's worked well for you from a personal brand perspective? What doesn't work so well? What have you tried and you thought, oh, that was a bit cringy, or I don't know if I should share that, or like what's working well, what isn't?
I'll be honest, I'm still working through all that. Yeah. What I'm finding at the moment is I'm learning more about what not to do. And the cringe thing is, the word cringe, I would say, is the most common conversation I'm having at the moment, because a lot of my clients, I'm trying to not push them, but part of what my work is with them is launching their personal brand. That's part of what I do with them. And the number one challenge or thing that they really are dreading is cringe, because they see LinkedIn, they're in this world, and they're still yet to kind of get over that hump of understanding that they are a brand, they are the business. So, and I feel the same thing. So I'm just trying different things at the moment, but I would say what I'm really picking up on is, like I've just said, it's that me being really authentic and raw seems to be working. And I am looking at my analytics and seeing how my content is being reviewed, and how that's landing as well. And I have seen the content where I'm being really raw and really honest, and the content I don't really think about. I just sort of write it and then post it because I don't have the mental bandwidth. Just is naturally working.
It's so crazy you say that, because that's I've heard that so many times. It's like that post that just took me 30 seconds to write, and I did it at 5 to 8 in the morning before the school rush or whatever, and that had better engagement than something I sat for hours like contemplating this is true. Really clever, and like
it happens every time pretty much with me. And it is the ones where I think no one's going to read it anyway. Well, I need to get something out there, and here's a thought, I'm just going to do it. I obviously always make sure that there is a message and that it is in keeping with what I'm trying to portray. But at the same time, I don't overthink it. It might be a short post, it might be a really long one, it might have just a quick picture or something, but yeah, I'm still working through it, but making sure it sounds like a cliche answer, but it's the authenticity, and I am still learning what that is for me.
I was gonna say, like, what does that mean to you, that word? Because I have some thoughts around authenticity. Not everyone agrees, but I'm always interested in what other people think about that word and what that means to them, so I'd be interested in what you think.
I have a strange, not strange. So my perspective on it is this: I have to be authentic, because part of why I've moved into doing what I'm doing with this business is, like I say, I've spent 14 years in big consultancies and big network agencies, and I've worked with some really challenging personalities. So I've not really been myself for a very long time,
right? Until
this last year, when I'm going to work on my own and do my own thing, get to work with the kind of people I want to. So I'm still at this point in time unpacking. This sounds so cliche.
No, it's
unpacking
fine.
myself and shedding some of that really corporate skin that I've had for a very long time.
It takes a long time to do that, though. Like,
yeah, I thought I'd do it in a month, but no. So with each client, I do like a bit of a wash up with them, so I get them to feedback on our experience. And 2 recently have said, "Oh, I love working with you." Blah blah. Just a couple of things when you're using certain terminology which I don't understand. And that's one thing I want to make sure I wasn't doing. I wanted to be this anti-consultancy, anti-corporate, no BS language, and I am still doing it. So I'm sort of trying to make sure that I'm being back by being authentic. I'm not, making sure that sort of stuff's being pulled out of
you're
my
not trying to manufacture it too much or be, too this or too that.
And there is a balance, right? Because you need to be authentic and be your personal self. But at the same time, I am still a professional, and I'm still working with professional people, and I'm a client. I have clients who are in professional spaces, so there is a balance of making sure you're not being too human, and don't swear, and sometimes just making sure there is a balance. There's a bit of a filter of not going too far on the other end and alienating people.
Yeah, I think alienation is an absolute thing. Like, you don't want to. There's someone you probably is like your perfect client out there, and you might just say fuck or bugger or whatever it might be, and it's like, lost it. Or they just go, I don't really want that kind of loud mouth, sort of like potty mouth working with me, and it's really difficult to balance. But what I share with people is like, authenticity is which version of yourself do you want, or which parts of you do you want to bring to that particular situation? You know, when people say, "Oh, I'm just myself," it's like, well, which version? Like the lazy one, the unprepared one, the tired one, or do you want to be prepared? Do you want to be proactive? Which you are some days. Like, bring that energy and bring that side of yourself. So I completely feel that. And how long's your business been running now? So, like, talk me a little bit about the business. Like, what's it called? Are you're operating under the name?
I am now, yeah. So I launched it officially in February, and I'm not going to say the name of it because I've paused it, but I initially launched it as like a bit of an abstract-ish name.
Nice.
And, you know, I come from brand, so I always apply everything, my brand methodology to everything. And then I got about 2 months in and realized, you know what, this is not feeling right. It's not really, I'm thinking too far ahead, too soon. So I just repackaged everything under my name because people are working with me. So I want to kind of make sure that I'm coming to the forefront as Bryn Robert Berry. And I think I should have done that from the get-go, but I just had this weird, who do you think you are? Like the imposter syndrome thing was there, if I'm being honest.
It's there for everyone, man.
Yeah, and I've just gotten over that. And like, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, really kicked things off in February and spent about 2 months just sort of launching it and getting all my ducks in a row. It came from an insight, right? So like I say, I'm a hybrid of a brand strategist and a commercial director, or a business director, whatever you want to call it. And I was in Amsterdam. I spent 2 months there when I moved back from Sydney. And I was just having conversations with people, and I had a really good chat with a guy who was just basically talking about how agencies, you'd be surprised how many haven't really thought about positioning themselves. They do it for other people, and there's all these people moving into the personal brand space, but no one's really doing it through the lens of brand. So I thought, well, actually, that's a bit of an aha moment, because I get that, but also I'm seeing all these coaches and all these, you know, people in this space being business coaches, but my personal strength, I believe, is not only have I got 14 plus years building billion-dollar brands, so I know how to build a brand, but I also know how to do it commercially, because I work in strategy, but also I have to work with clients to work with budgets and scope things and build teams and actually get shit off the ground, essentially. So I thought, you know what, I personally feel like there's something in that. So I road tested it, had loads of conversations, and fingers crossed, all the feedback I was getting was, oh, that sounds quite unique, and you should have a look at that. So that's the insight that I ran with, and then that's kind of what I do. And like I say, I'm still working around with the language, but I'm going to stick with this plugin concept, because it could be a founder, it could be, I'm working with a design studio at the moment. I'm about to launch a program with a bigger studio. These studios are 10 years in, so they're at a different life cycle of their business, whereas my one-on-one clients they've just started, they've been made redundant, AI's taken their job, like all, you know, insert economical issue here that we're all talking about all the time. So I'm coming in at the very beginning with some people, and then 10 years down the line with others.
Well, I was just about to ask you, like, is there a consistency with the stage of business that you're working with?
No. I would say
different challenges at different stages, though,
which I love, and I think
you can always be there for the next challenge.
Correct. And, you know, I'm looking at my one-on-one clients. I hope I'm choosing them strategically, but I genuinely see such potential in each one of them, where I'm going, well, in a year's time, if things go well, that will be like the tier 2 or tier 3 version of my clients, where they're hiring people. Like, for example, one of my other clients, we've been working for about 2 months. Amazing concept. She's based in New Zealand. She's building a sustainability collective. We were working on her book proposal. She's been successful. She's now about to go on a big book tour.
Wow.
So there's like a whole heap of other opportunities that's coming off the back of our work together that I'm going, well, in 6 months to a year's time, that could become a whole multimedia part of what she's doing. There could be a podcast. So we're talking about all these different parts of what she's doing. So I'm now realizing, well, you know, I'm just going to work with anyone, because as long as I see the potential and vice versa, then I will be embedded in their business as long as they want me to be. Who knows where the business could go?
I love that. And I think people do need that plug-in solution. I think they need that flexibility. But I imagine, and I'm sure time will tell, it's maybe a little too early to tell right now, like, given that, you know, since launching in February, but the plug-in proposition is really attractive, I think. And I'm not here to like offer an opinion as such. It's more of an observation. I think it's really nice. It resonates with me, certainly, like being an agency and what have you. And I think that's really cool. if people want to find out more about you, Bryn, like where can they go and digest some content? I know you said LinkedIn, but like, yeah, have you got like a website with some methodology and frameworks that you use?
I'll be honest. So find me on LinkedIn, Bryn Robert Berry. That's the place where I'm most active at the moment. I do have a website. It's brynrobertberry.com. I'm in the middle of repackaging it all. I wouldn't say I'm rebranding it, but I'm definitely relooking at the whole thing. But yeah, LinkedIn is the place to come find me. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm enjoying watching your journey, and ever since we've met, like I can see the energy online, and I think people just need to come and connect with you and have a chat with you, and then they can actually experience like how awesome you are. So
I have chats every week. I have a 50-minute window that I open up every day for people to come chat to me.
Brilliant.
So yeah, whenever you want to come chat, I'm there.
Amazing. Absolute honor and a pleasure, mate. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Enjoy the rest of the festival. The sun's finally come out.
Yay. Go enjoy
right
it.
at the end of the day. Cheers, man.
Thank you very much.